my YouTube channel. It's your girl Sid. I am back with another video. I am sitting here with my pillow and my blanket. It snowed outside today, and I didn't even realize it was gonna snow today. So when I woke up to go to work, a nice surprise. So I've been kind of cold all day, so I'm sitting here with my blanket and my pillow because I'm cold. Y'all, yesterday was phenomenal. Let's just start there real quick. Yesterday's church service, and I started to record a video yesterday because I was on such a spiritual high, and I was just feeling and embracing everything that God was doing. First of all, shout out to my new 2 subscribers who made themselves known. I appreciate those who have been watching my videos consistently. I appreciate those who have been liking, commenting, whatever. So make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share my videos, and make yourself known. Like I want to become more interactive and hear from you guys. So I shout out to you guys for making yourselves known, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But just yesterday I was just on such like this spiritual high because during church service, as we were praying over the children, I made a video yesterday. I made a short on across all of my platforms, just saying what the Lord has shared with me yesterday, and He has said it won't be long now. And of course, when you hear a word from the Lord, the enemy comes in almost immediately. Yesterday, it was like I was on this spiritual high. Today, I was on this low, like, hello. And it's just so funny how he tries to come snatch that thing away from you. But as I was driving, as I was driving home from work around 1:30ish, and all of these thoughts were just flowing through my mind, like, how is this going to happen? How am I going to make this happen? I got to do this, and I do this. And as that was like going, I was still hearing in the back of my mind, it's turning around for me. And it's so funny when the Lord does that. It's like He's playing a song in my mind to remind me that it's turning around, as all of these other thoughts are rambling through my mind, like, I don't even know how I'm going to make this happen, but it's not even up to me. Like I've been saying basically all of my videos, it's not even up to me. But as I was driving home as well, I just was thinking about all of God's promises, and how before now, just last year and all of last year, most of my life, how I've known God, and I've known that He's placed certain desires on the inside of me. But I wanted to get into how I began to idolize what my desires over anything. Like it was pretty rough. I idolized marriage so bad, and I idolized my ex so much because I just wanted so badly to be married, so badly to become a mother again, that everything else just did not, it was just like, it didn't matter. Like I was just like, this is what I want, and it kind of drove not only a wedge in the relationship, but it drove a wedge mostly in my relationship with God, because I'm like, God, I'm gonna make this happen. Like it was like I was putting Him so far to the back, because I'm just like, I just want this to happen. Like I wanted it so bad, right? And I remember just journaling all the time, like I still do now, but how I journal now versus how I was journaling from last year all the way back to I can remember when I was journaling. I mean, so different. Like my prayers have shifted ever since I've surrendered all of my desires. Like God gives us these desires. He placed desires on the inside of us, and having desires is not the bad thing. It's not the wrong thing. It's when we put our desires before God, and like, God, you put this desire in me, but I'm gonna make it happen. Like we want it so bad. I wish I could explain how it was for me. and how bad it got just for me wanting that. As most of you know, or if you don't know, I am a mom already. I have a soon to be 8-year-old. My boy's gonna be 8 on Saturday, y'all, and we get to celebrate him. But I can't wait. I'll probably vlog that whole day because that whole day gonna be about him. But anyway, so he turns 8 on Saturday, but I was longing so badly to become a mom again. I'm like, okay, one, I'm inching up there in age. I'll be 30 next month. My son is 8. Like, okay, Lord, like, what, what's the deal? And for years, me and my previous boyfriend were trying. Me knowing that I was outside of the will of God. Like, let's just be honest. Like, me knowing that I was fully operating outside of the will of God for my life and what he wanted for me, but I still wanted all of that whole package so badly that it didn't matter that I was sinning against myself. It didn't matter that I was sinning against God. It didn't matter to me. Or I won't say it didn't matter, because it was still eating me alive. because the reason why I say it was eating me alive, because I was willingly and knowingly operating in sin, yet I was still in it so bad or in it so deep that I didn't want to be like abruptly in the middle of a relationship, like, hey, listen, I know we've been doing this this whole time, but but like, we gotta stop. You know what I mean? Like, it was difficult because I didn't want to stop. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I didn't want to stop. 1, 2, I wanted another child so badly. So when it was not happening, and it did not happen, that caused me to break even more, to the point of depression. I was so depressed. I was so down. Every time that time of the month came and I knew that it was going to start, I would lose it. I would literally be in the bathroom crying my eyes out. Like, why? I've already had a child. Why is this not happening for me? It was so simple. It was so simple the first time, and even then, my son is nowhere near a mistake, but even then I was operating in sin when I had my son. But I was pleading with God, because I'm just like, okay, make it make sense. I've already had a child. Why isn't this happening for me? And all of those things I still desire. But the difference now is that I laid those desires at the feet of Jesus. I've laid those idols, because they became idols. I idolized being a mom again. I idolized wanting to be a wife. I idolized wanting my boyfriend to propose. Like, bruh, almost every conversation I would bring it up, and I would just be so like about it, because I was too pressed, honey, too pressed. Let's just be honest. I was so pressed for it to happen, because I'm just like, Lord, like you said you would give me the desires of my heart. Like, you quote in the Bible, but you ain't even got, God ain't even in none of the situation that you got going on. It's just like, Lord, you said I can have, the desires of my heart. And it's so different now, because yes, I still have moments when I'm like, okay, Lord, I am standing on your promises. I am believing, I am trusting that you will make a way. But it's different. It's different how I approach it. It's not like I'm begging, because when I tell y'all, I would be in the bathroom begging, like, please, Lord, y'all don't know how many pregnancy tests I've taken just to make it real. Like, to make it real. Like, I just wanted it so badly. I wanted to make it real so badly. And it didn't help that my son wants a sibling so badly. He has 2 little sisters already, but a sibling from his mom. He literally is like, Mom, when is the baby coming? So that made it even more pressing, because how do you share with your child that, okay, mommy's trying but it's not happening. But then it's like, that was my approach then, like, okay, mommy's trying but it's not happening. But now it's just like, Lord, just like, we're waiting. Now mommy's waiting on God, you know what I mean, or God is waiting on me, whatever the case, vice versa. Like, I am in the season of waiting, and since making that decision to be like, okay, now I'm saving myself for marriage, now I'm saving, all of me has been given over back to the Lord, because living, though I wanted that desire and though I wanted it to happen so badly, I was breaking in the process, because I was going against myself, sinning against my own body, and not doing it the way that God wanted it to be. Because when God presents something, he brings perfect gifts. We're not perfect people, but when he brings two people together, they're perfect for one another. I'll say that. And is it easy? No. But the feeling of knowing and trusting God with all that you are believing him for has felt so much better. Even though denying your flesh is not the simplest task. It's not like, okay, y'all, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Trust and believe. It takes a whole lot of praying. It takes a whole lot of praying and a whole lot of denying your flesh. Like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, even if you want it, it's not. And people kind of get it twisted, because they think that because they're following Christ, that they will no longer have those desires at all. Bruh, that's not the truth. Like, the desire is still there. It's just that you are surrendering your desires and your fleshly desires, and you're denying flesh so much that it does get simpler. Not easier, but simpler, if that makes sense. Simple doesn't mean equate to easy. And when I mean it gets simpler, is because the more you feed one thing, the more it grows. You deprive a thing, the more it dies. So the more you begin to deprive your flesh of the things that it wants, it does get simpler. And I can say that now with a little more ease than I could have said a couple months ago. Yeah. I can say that now because I have been feeding my spirit so much. Because that's what I want to be upfront. That's what I want to be more alive. So that is what I've been feeding. And so it's become more simpler to walk it out with God. Like, God, we're going to wait it out. Yes, my emotions still get the best of me. Yes, not the best of me. No, I rebuke that. My emotions don't get the best of me. My emotions still cause a rise in me. But now that I use the word to combat that, or I just give them to God, you can be honest with God about your feelings. He is not going to be mad that you feeling this way. Like, Lord, today is a little different. Today, we having some little troubles, and he honors that. He honors your honesty. He honors your emotions. He became flesh and dwelt among men, so he could experience what we experience, so he can know how to love us even greater. So I say that today because today was one of those days where I'm like, okay, Lord, where's the promises? So I just began to think about and reflect on how far I've come as it relates to me wanting so badly to have what he wants for me, because God wouldn't place that desire in you if he didn't want you to have it. Like, I firmly believe that he would not place that want or that desire in you if he didn't want you to have it. It's just that the enemy perverts it. It is the enemy's job to pervert everything, and he perverts the promise by turning it into something that you chase after, that you long for, that you place before God. The things that are in you that you are wanting, God wants that for you. I firmly believe that. But he wants you to put him first so that he can give it to you the right way. the right way, so you don't have to deal with the counterfeit blessing, so you don't have to deal with the counterfeit blessing. Like, you don't have to deal with the counterfeits, because when you have God first, you will then begin to walk in discernment and know what's truly for you and what's not. And that has been me in this season, trying to decipher and discern what's truly for me, what's not, what friends are for me, what's not, what man is for me, what's not. Like, it's been tough, because some things and some people you really don't want to let go of. And that was someone and something I did not want to let go of. I still wrestle with it today. Like, God, I did not want to let that go. Just letting you know, like, I'm just being real honest with you. That's not something that I was willing. And God had to pry that thing out of my hand. God literally had to pry it out of my hand in order for it to be loose. And I became so broken. y'all, I can't even like explain how broken I was. But God breaks you in order to put you back together in the way that He intended you to operate, and in order to put you in the authentic version that He designed in you or for you before He created you in your mother's womb, before you were formed in your mother's womb. He had this idea of you. But we have so many things that are influencing our minds, our way of thinking, our way of life, that end up shifting that, or gets us off track from the authentic version of ourselves. And we begin to take on other ideals, other people's ideologies, other people's mantras, and different things. Like, we just begin to take on different personalities of people around us, and who we've been with, who we slept with. We take all of that in. All of that is hoarded. Excuse me. All of that is hoarded on the inside of us when we don't release it to God. Like, Lord, I renounce everything that I've done. I break every covenant that I made outside of you. I break every attachment that I have made outside of your name, outside of your will, outside of what you originally designed for me. And I just want to say, as I begin to wrap this thing up, it won't be long now. That is what the Lord said to me in service yesterday as I was worshiping. And y'all already know tears literally filled my eyes, because I was just so, like, overwhelmed with joy, with peace. Because though I haven't been waiting long, for His promises, because I was trying to do it on my own. But I haven't been waiting long for Him. But even in this short amount of time, even in these couple months span, it's been quite a journey of finding my feet, finding Jesus' feet, so that I can stand. Because He doesn't want you to remain lame. He doesn't want you to remain blind. If He finds you that way, He won't leave you that way. He found me broken. He found me broken. I was so broken. But I allowed Him to piece me back together. That was the difference between any other breakup that I've been through, between any other situation that I've gone through. I've always been the one to try to use others to either piece me back together or piece myself back together in the best way I know how, by moving on. You know what I mean? Or reattaching myself to something else, or reattaching myself to my phone, reattaching myself to something that made my mind distracted or feel loved. Because I remember when I did become single again, I remember crying to God, because I knew that He loved me, but I was like, Lord, I just need this tangible love, this love that can reach out and grab me, this love that can reach out and hold me, this love that can, and when I felt that feeling, or those feelings, when I felt so low, I would just lay in my bed and I would ask God, or I said, Jesus, come lay with me, because that I just needed like that. You know that, like, just that comfort, that cuddle, like, because that's what I was accustomed to, because that's what I've been doing. I've been cuddling, I've been sleeping, with my boyfriend, or my boyfriend at the time. So that's what I was accustomed to, and breaking away from those old patterns wasn't easy, because you go from sleeping in a bed with somebody to sleeping by yourself. And y'all, I will say it's been a beautiful, crazy, bumpy, busy journey to where I am now. And I still have a long ways to go. Like, this is not me, oh y'all, I have arrived. No, this is just me wanting to share with you to never idolize the promises, never idolize the desires that are deep down inside of you. Because when God says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all of these other things, all of these things will be added unto you. He truly means that, because your peace will be added unto you, your joy, your love, this sense of overwhelming peace that you don't even understand. Even when things are not even playing out how you think they are supposed to play out, there is this peace, there is this joy that comes along when you're seeking God. And I seek God in everything, and I make sure I do it, especially when I first rise up. Sometimes I accidentally scroll, or I turn over and look at my phone beforehand. But even just this morning, I had a dream that really had me so deep into my emotions, because it pulled on tugged on strings of my past, and it tugged on strings of different people from my past was in the dream. And today I had to pray for grace to be me. I'm like, God, I need grace to be Sydney today. God, I need grace to go into work and do my job today. I need grace to parent today. I need grace to show up, because right now I ain't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling getting on here making a video. I wasn't feeling any of it. But when I began to reflect on how far I've come from, oh Jesus, we're not gonna cry on this thing. Reflect on how far I've come from being so broken and wanting so desperately to have what it is that God said I can have. I'm grateful. Oh Jesus. I am honestly grateful to be where I am, to be in my right mind, because I was not in my right mind. I was losing it and didn't even recognize who I was. I was so angry. I was just so sad. Like, I couldn't even understand like what was going on with me. I was just like, who is this person? Why am I this way? I would be so upset and not speak for days. Like, I just didn't understand who I was. I wasn't eating. I didn't know that version of me. And it, like I said, it got to a point, like I shared in one of my previous videos, when the breakup finally happened, or when it happened, or not finally, because y'all, I didn't want it to happen, but when the breakup happened, there was so much of anger and sadness and sorrow and disappointment from things not happening, and things like my body is not working, like all of these feelings that I was feeling, and I literally, like I said, I broke my hand. Like, I literally came into my bedroom and I feel like I blacked out, and I remember punching my floor, and immediately knowing like I did something wrong. Like, I got up, went to the ER, and they told me it was broken. But like, who was that version of me that was so, like, I didn't even recognize myself. I didn't even know who. There was no identity. That was like, who is this person that I had become, because so badly that I wanted what I wanted. And when you want what you want, sometimes you, like I said, you go above and beyond. You're stepping on your own head trying to get to what you want. But I'm grateful. Nonetheless, I am so grateful for where I am today. I am not nowhere near where I want to be, but I am in a place, in such a peace, and able to freely share, because I didn't even want, listen, like I said, I didn't even want people to know that I wasn't even in a relationship anymore. I didn't tell my son, like, I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell anyone. Like, I just kept it to myself, because I'm just like, that's embarrassing. So in my mind, that's what I was thinking. Like, this is just totally embarrassing. I'm almost 30. I still have a ways to go, and I just felt like I was just so behind the 8 ball. Like, I gotta catch up. But prayer, oh my gosh. To end with this, prayer, I keep saying I'm gonna end, but more things just keep coming. But prayer is your cheat code in life. And Pastor Darius Daniels used this as an example. After they fed the 20,000 plus with the little boys, two fish and 5 loaves of bread, Jesus went off to himself to pray. And he told the disciples to go ahead of him on the lake. And Jesus met them by walking on water. Jesus met them by walking on water. He caught up to them. And he was away in prayer. Peter tried to do what Jesus was doing. So he said, bid me to come on the water. Jesus dealt with the same conditions as Peter did. The winds, the storm, the rain, everything crashing against him in this situation. But because Jesus went to the secret place, he was able to do what no one could, because he went to the Father first. Peter was in the boat with the other disciples. He did not pray. He was still able to walk on water. The miracle was that Peter was still able to, and Jesus was able to carry him into the boat. But the thing was, Peter couldn't do what Jesus did because he didn't pray like Jesus did. Prayer is your cheat code. It will not only have you catch up, because who are we catching up to? But it will have you catch up and exceed where you even thought you were supposed to be in the first place. It will go far beyond where you think you can go. It will transcend you. You couldn't have told me a couple months ago that I would feel how I feel today. I just knew that how I was feeling was how I was going to feel for a while. I'm like, this is going to be a year or two before I even bounce back from this. Like, how can I recover from this version of me? But I made it my business. I made it my business every day to pray. I said, when I have this urge to text anyone else, I'm going to pretend like I'm texting God. And y'all think I'm playing. I meant that. Like, I'm going to pretend like I'm texting God. Like, Lord, hey, what's up? What you doing? Like I made it so practical, because I knew that I needed to be pieced back together. But I knew that the only one who could truly do it this time was God. Like, the only one who could truly piece me back together how I needed to be pieced back together was God. There was no other person I could be like, listen, prayer is your cheat code. And when Pastor Darius Daniels said that, I was like, yo, you are not lying. Prayer is your cheat code. It gives you access to things. It gives you abilities that you don't have on your own to overcome. It gives you the ability to walk on water. Peter went through had the same storm, the same winds, the same waves crashing around him as Jesus did, but Jesus walked through it with ease. It's almost the same thing in life. When you are praying, or when you have the Father, when things are going around you that look so chaotic, you just chilling. And everybody like, why are you chilling? Like, do you see what's going on in the world? Do you see what's happening? Do you see this? Do you see that? And you like, God got it. You just chilling. You just walking through the wind, through the storm, through the rain. Man, is it that simple? It can be. I ain't say easy, I said simple. But y'all, I appreciate y'all. I really do. I really do. I did not mean to come over here and get emotional. That is not what I was trying to do. But like I said, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make yourself known in the comments. Say hey to your girl. Like, subscribe, share the video. And I will catch you guys next video. Bye.